I read that remarkable script by Sammy Birch and was immediately taken by what Sammy had done, how she had done it, and the restraints that were built into this highly volatile story.
Do you remember when you first met?
He came to the pet store looking for a job.
It was summer after 6th grade?
Seventh.
Why do you want to play me?
When they sent me the script, I thought, here is a woman with a lot more to her than I remember from the tabloids.
What would make a 36-year-old woman have an affair with a 7th grader?
People, they like see me as a victim. I wanted it.
When I started to talk to Natalie about the script, you know, I was like, wow, she reminds me of Julianne Moore. The things that she's attracted to, the places of indeterminate emotion and discomfort that might be imposed on a viewer, or her willingness to play with the projections people might make about Natalie Portman, the actress, as Elizabeth Barry, the actress. That delighted her. That was like, you know, thrilling and exciting to her. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna see if Julie might be interested in playing Gracie. Because they never worked together before, so it was a real, such an opportunity.
I want to find a character that's difficult to understand. Why are they like this? Were they born or were they made?
I thought you were taller. You look taller on television, but we're basically the same size.
Thank you for doing this.
Well, I want you to tell the story right, don't I? They're sweet, aren't they?
We've been together for almost 24 years now. It's hard to trust that you're going to represent things as they were.
I felt that this was inspired by my experience with the script, that there was a sense of that we were observing this world and that we were standing back a bit. And so I wanted to sort of honor that the integrity of that idea. Every time there's a mirror scene, a scene with a mirror, the camera is the mirror, and the actors just play to the lens of the camera. And I never establish the mirror in the scene. You just immediately begin the scene with the camera as the mirror and let the performers let you know what's happening. And I thought people would, you know, at the best, I thought people would be like, oh, wow, that's, you know, really interesting. And nobody ever said that. They were just like, they just were right in it.
Why would you want to play someone who you think is a bad person?
It's the moral gray areas that are interesting, right?
He's getting on my last nerve. He's just everywhere I look.
In the film The Go-Between, that music sticks out. That music sits way in front of the story that's about to occur from the very beginning of the credit sequence.
I'll tell you a secret. Maren's engaged to marry Trimmingham.
Take this letter.
This puts you on guard as a viewer and makes you go, wait a minute, what is gonna happen? Something's gonna happen. You know, and what is it going to be? This being on guard, this being like a warning bell just went off. And it's going to be an invitation to be an interpreter of what the movie is, right? And that's how I felt when I read the script. I was like, wow, this is making me really uncomfortable. And I don't know what I think. And I like that. And then while we were shooting each scene that didn't have dialogue, I would play the music on set. So everybody was like living in that music.
They're a very beloved part of this community.
I can see that. So, what is it you love most about Gracie?
She always knows what she wants.
She's unapologetic.
I haven't made a film yet that doesn't use zooms. The zoom is the only thing that is a purely cinematic artifact. It doesn't exist in any species. We can't zoom in with our eyes on something. It is a product of the lens that can change the focal length automatically. In fact, what it also does is that there's very few shots that track in the movie, in our film, in May, December. We lateral track with Joe and Elizabeth on that long walk that they take along Gracie Street. But the only track that we actually do is at the end from Natalie when Julianne is walking away from her at the graduation after they have their final face-off. And all of a sudden, the track has impact because it has not been used through the whole film. And you know, when you tire things out the way I would say today, the handheld camera is so exhausted, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It's completely meaningless because it's just completely used ubiquitously in any movie because of digital cinematography and all that. So it's important. So I always think you gotta hold back and re-imbue certain cinematic styles with meaning again. And then the power of that particular choice actually stands for something.